Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. Appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for liking these videos, hitting that thumbs up button for me. Thank you for sharing these videos with people, that as many people as you possibly can. And please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I do appreciate the support. We're growing the community. So let's talk about Hurricane Milton. I know it's all over the news. Even all my feeds on YouTube are getting bombarded with Milton stories. All the weather people out there, everyone's down taking footage. I get it. But a story just came out just a few minutes ago from the Zero Hedge that talks about the monetary losses that could be sustained from Milton if it makes landfall and creates the kind of devastation they're predicting right now. And so I want to talk about 175 billion with a B potential losses. As I was coming to the office this morning, I quickly saw an article that said, I believe, I hope I'm not misstating, I didn't pull the article, that after Helene, 600,000 insurance policies were canceled in Florida, homeowners policies. I don't know if that's accurate or not. If you guys know, leave your comments below. I think it was 600,000 policies. That was from Helene. Now we have Milton. Let me share the article with you. It says, as of Wednesday afternoon, Milton, a dangerous Category 4 hurricane, is set to make landfall on Florida's central coast near the Tampa region later tonight or early Thursday morning. By the way, they also, an article this morning I saw said that Orlando Disney is set to possibly get hit with $200 million of damage and losses if this thing makes landfall as predicted. It says the storm's path can potentially cause more than $50 billion in damage, with some estimates as high as $175 billion or about, it says, 75 billion. Depending on which research firm is providing the storm damage estimates, this once-in-a-century storm has the potential to generate a catastrophic storm surge of up to 15 feet and winds topping 150 miles per hour. It says the storm is shaping up to be a very costly event for insurers and the government. It says while too early to make insurance loss estimates, a major hurricane impact in one of Florida's most heavily populated regions could result in mid-double-digit billion-dollar losses. A team of analysts led by Yaron Kanar from Jefferies wrote in a note to clients. He says a 1 in 100 year event is estimated by some to result in 175 billion in losses for landfall in the Tampa region and 70 billion in losses for the Fort Myers region. Should Milton's path, it says, through the more developed Tampa region hold, potential losses could even be greater. It says the latest update from the National Hurricane Center forecasts a massive 15-foot surge of water across the Tampa region. The storm's winds will push the wall of water inland, creating the most devastation for buildings, structures, and critical infrastructure, as well as, unfortunately, loss of life. Hopefully people have heeded the evacuation warnings and got it the hell out of there. In a separate report, analysts at Morningstar DBRS forecast insured losses from Milton in the range of 60 to 100 billion if the hurricane directly hits the Tampa metro area. And it says a $100 billion loss, listen to this, would put Milton on par with the 2005 Hurricane Katrina. It says Hurricane Milton remains on track to generate insurance claims in the tens of billions at least, with economic losses a multiple of that amount. CoreLogic estimates a reconstruction cost of $123 billion for residential properties in Tampa Bay and Sarasota under a Category 3 scenario. It says in 2020, the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council ran a simulation of a Category 5 hurricane impact. The council estimated residential structural losses across 6 counties of $287 billion. Still, only a fraction of this will be insured, and Milton won't be Category 5, it says, at landfall. This is it. Hear more from BI and analysts on potential storm losses for insurers. We expect a wider than typical gap between economic and insured losses, similar to Hurricane Helene. So This is talks about the insurance coverage. Guys, Florida, if this thing truly creates the kind of havoc that it's anticipated to create in Florida following Helene, we are going to have a massive pullout from Florida of insurance carriers. And I feel for the people that have migrated to Florida in the last years. I mean, I know a lot of people from California have gone to Florida. I've had friends move to Florida. It's been, it's been very attractive for people to go down there, buy real estate, invest, and retire. And boy, I feel very badly for those people if they do suffer a damage or a loss. And look at, even if you don't suffer a damage or a loss, the entire state is going to be impacted by these insurance companies just simply pulling out of the state entirely. We've seen an exodus out of California with insurance companies due to the fire hazards here in parts of this state. And even for the companies that do not completely leave the state of Florida following this next storm, imagine what the insurance premiums are going to look like to insure your property for damage of this kind: flood damage, hurricane damage. It says Milton's storm surge will likely break records, but insurers should avoid most flood claims as the peril is typically excluded from homeowners' policies. So but the fact that it's excluded from the policy doesn't mean that the people that suffer the loss aren't going to be damaged. I mean, they won't even have insurance coverage to cover the loss. So how many thousands or millions of people are going to be having to fork major dollars out of pocket to just repair their homes, repair their properties after this thing comes through there? It says insurers avoid flood. Of course they do, since it's correlated to wind, can result in major losses, and most importantly, state legislatures or regulators are unlikely to let insurers adequately price for the risk, as it would push up the cost to consumers. So it's this constant balancing act about trying to keep premiums reasonable. Well, guess what? That is going to completely go out the window. The balancing act will be impossible from my layperson perspective after Milton's all said and done, and there's a real assessment of the damage, the losses, and the amount of insurance claims in that state. So I just wanted to come on and give you guys the update on this. Again, I'm not hoping for the best for the people of Florida. I'll say a prayer for those folks there, certainly in the direct impact zone. But for everybody who has made their life in Florida, made their retirement in Florida, maybe it's not you. Maybe you have loved ones, family, friends, people, parents that have retired down there. I think a lot of people from the East Coast, I think, in New York and New Jersey, those areas have migrated south also into Florida. So look, is it going to turn into a pariah state after this is said and done, where it becomes unworkable and literally unlivable for people with the finances? We're going to have to wait and see. I'll leave it there right now on this topic. Again, landfall is supposed to be, I think, tonight or tomorrow morning. Let's all, say a prayer that it something diverts it a little bit, or puts it off the path, or weakens the system so the surge is not as bad as expected. All of you have, a wonderful rest of your day. If you're in the impact zone and you haven't evacuated thus far, you may want to pay attention to the authorities. I saw something yesterday about a guy on his boat who's going to say is going to ride it out. People are bringing him supplies, and I don't know. Common sense sometimes goes out the window. I understand some people are limited financially in their ability to simply pick up and leave, but your life is not worth any amount of personal property. Okay, so again, I hope all of you are doing okay. Stay the course, stay vigilant. A lot going on besides the hurricane, and besides the election, and besides the economic collapse, and besides war. We know that. Talk to all of you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.